Hello, Oracles. When will Elon be done selling Tesla stock? Yesterday, we saw an explosive rebound in the market when we got CPI data coming in at a 7.7%, beating the expectations of 8%. While inflation is still high, this was a big beat and the market cheered it significantly. However, Tesla seemed to hit a wall as it was going up. It did finish up over 7%, but it seems like it could have done a lot more. So it definitely seems like Elon was selling yesterday. We do not have any Form 4 filings at this time, so we do not have any confirmation on that. But just looking at how we've been trading all week, that seems like it. And also based off of some information that we had gotten from Elon in an email to his Twitter employees, it seems like he has been selling just so that he can have some money on the sidelines to make sure that the company does not go bankrupt. And before we get into it today, just a quick reminder, tonight we will be having our Friday night live stream with Nicholas Gibbs over at Investing Against the Grain and Vinny from Investment Club. So please feel free to join us at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be discussing everything from Tesla and what has been going on with all of the drama this week, FSD, and a lot of the awesome things we can see in the future. Looking forward, we do have a very difficult economic time coming up over the next year, most likely, especially when it comes to advertising revenue. That's how Twitter makes the majority of its money at this time. So they need to make sure that they have some money in there, especially as advertisers are stepping away from the platform, just to kind of let things settle and see how Elon is going to handle it over there. So, with that said, we thought that Elon was selling because he had maybe a bridge loan. We have no confirmation exactly as to why he was selling. Perhaps it's a combination of both. Don't truly know, but at right now, it seems like based upon the information that we have, it was not in order to float this bridge loan. We do have Ross Gerber coming in saying that he saw the document for the Twitter purchase and all of the money was there. He says he doesn't know what's going on in the back end with Elon's financials. There may be something else that we don't see, but based upon what he saw, it was paid for, so all of this selling now made no sense for the purchase and acquisition of Twitter. So, based upon Elon's emails, seems like this is just him getting some money in his back pocket to make sure that they can keep the company moving forward. Twitter seems to be something very important to Elon in the future for all of humanity and everything. So then the biggest question comes down to, what is the reason for him selling? Because if he was selling just to finalize the acquisition of the deal, cool, we can put a dollar number on that, it's done, he has sold, we're good to go moving forward. If it is because that he needs to keep some money on the sidelines just to keep on supporting Twitter, as some people had suspected, that would leave these sales more open-ended and we won't have any confirmation. So when people ask the question of when is this Twitter overhang going to actually be over, the answer to that question is going to be, it's as soon as Twitter is making money and Elon no longer needs to support it with any sales of his stock. So now if Twitter all of a sudden turns around, they start making a ton of money, maybe Elon buys Tesla stock back. I don't know, I'm not going to bank on that. All I know is that at this point right now, this Twitter overhang is going to hang over us until Elon has gotten Twitter to the point where it is profitable again and we don't have to worry about Elon selling any more shares. That's just kind of where we're at the moment. So now looking at the overall macro environment, a lot of times we have a question of, well, when are we actually going to hit the bottom? Think about when market manipulators come in and they're trying to get retail to capitulate. They're trying to get people to sell out of their stock. They can't just drop the price at a very fast rate and then try to get people to sell out. We saw that happen with COVID. We saw that V-bounce. They cannot do that because people will sell a little bit, but that move in a V-bounce is so fast, some people can't even sell in time, and then all of a sudden the stock market is coming back up and people then start buying back in. The whole point of this is to get people to get out of the market and sell their shares. In order to do that, you have to do it over a long, drawn-out period of time. This is what is going on right now. So we get those fake rallies coming in, people are given that hope, and there's only so many times that people can be given that little false hope before they're like finally giving up. That's why we see these dead cat bounces. We see the stock market coming down, people are like, all right, we've hit the bottom, let's buy back in. Goes back up and they're like, oh, not again, let me sell some more. We come back down, oh, I think we've hit a bottom, and then we haven't. So people at that point finally just stop buying back in. That is what these market manipulators are trying to do during these times. They keep on driving the stock price down and they're trying to get to the point where people are selling and not buying back in. Because when they get to that point, we have then hit a bottom, because then big money is going to come back in, big money is going to create that new foundation at the bottom, and then retail usually buys in higher than that. This is how the big money stays ahead of everyone else in retail. They always have a better price because they have manipulated the stock market to exactly where they want based upon long, drawn-out pain that they have purposely put in the market. That's just how it works. We've seen it happen time and time again. And of course, there's a lot of other factors that go into it as well. That's just a very simplified version of how the mechanics work of it. But it's the long drawn out pain that is going to cause all of this to happen. You do a quick pain, it's like tearing a Band-Aid off. You tear the Band-Aid off, you're like, all right, the pain is over. You have long drawn out pain, you're finally like, all right, I give up, I'm done. That is exactly what the market is looking for right now, is people to just give up and be done. And people usually give up and are done because they are feeling so much pain and emotion from the entire market, they just can't handle it anymore. One of the reasons that Warren Buffett is as successful as he is because he can endure the pain, because he does not put his emotions into the stock market. He does not pay attention to the FUD. FUD is out there to control your emotions. He does not let FUD phase him. That is why he is so successful. That's why anybody who is extremely successful in the stock market and understands times like this, they don't put their emotions in the market. They are the ones who are the most wealthy. And so then the next question is, when are we going to hit the bottom? When are we actually going to see Tesla stock coming back up again in a bull run? We had Chicken Genius on Twitter actually saying that he wants to get back to the perma-bull state that he was in before. He loved doing that, but he's realistic, and we know that we are in some down economic times right now. So that is unfortunately where we are at. When will we see this turnaround happen? Well, big turnarounds that we are going to see when it comes to Tesla stock specifically are when we do see Twitter end up getting profitable, when Elon does appoint a CEO and a management team over at Twitter to be able to handle things so that he can just set it and forget it over there. We will also see Tesla stock turn around as soon as we can eliminate that key man risk over at Tesla. Now, one big point that I thought about this morning is Tesla basically operates right now like FSD. FSD right now, as we are going through the beta program, it's growing, and you need less and less interventions along the way on our way to level 4 and level 5 autonomy. That's similar to how Tesla operates right now. Tesla is operating right now like FSD, and it needs less and less interventions from Elon. And we are seeing that right now as he is focusing his attention over on Twitter a little bit more than he had been before. Don't forget, he is still working on things over at Tesla, but Tesla right now is running like it's FSD beta. It doesn't need as many interventions from him as it did before. So now with Q4 going through, we are going to get some great information as to how Tesla can perform without Elon being directly there involved with Tesla. Because if we can get through Q4 and show some amazing numbers coming out, that by itself is going to eliminate some of that key man risk that is out there. Because Elon's not there all the time, the company is still growing significantly without as many interventions from Elon. Great things moving forward. Then as we get into the next phase, if Elon does end up putting somebody in place, it's fine. He clearly does have a great management team over there and has operations that are running very smoothly because they can do so without him there. So these are great things that we can see going forward. So again, that's just kind of how the operations are growing over at Tesla. And part of me thinks that Elon likes to be challenged. Elon needs to have a challenge that is so overwhelming, he needs to dig himself out of a hole. I think Elon thrives on that. And Tesla now is at the point where it's not a hole that he needs to dig out of. He's on top of that, he's built a mountain, and now he's just viewing everything from the top of that mountain with basic challenges that come along the way. That's not doing anything for Elon and the growth that he feels that he needs. So he dove himself into a bigger problem right now with Twitter, and he literally dug his own hole over there. Now he's going to dig himself out of it. That's just the way the guy thrives. Watching him and how he has done things over the last 20 plus years, that's it. He puts himself into a deep hole and he thrives on figuring out that challenge to dig himself out of it. So of course, many of us are frustrated because, hey, in him doing so, he's selling Tesla stock shares, which in turn bring our portfolios down. But Elon's doing what Elon does, and the reason we are as successful as we are as a company in Tesla is because he has done this. And again, looking at the positives behind all of it, Elon can go and do this with Twitter right now, and Tesla is still operating very well because he doesn't feel like Tesla is that challenge anymore. He does have challenges over there. Obviously, he's still putting a lot of attention into Tesla, but he doesn't have that same challenge because Tesla is operating extremely well without him. That key man risk is going away more and more every day. And so I think putting all of this video together all into one, looking at the timing of when we are going to see things turning around, I think it's all going to culminate at the same time. I think we're going to get a point in the market where Finally, the market has hit that bottom. We are going to see the inflation down where it needs to be. We're going to see the Fed coming out and they're going to say that they're going to U-turn on interest rates. We are going to see Elon having a management team in place over at Twitter. We are going to recognize that there are less interventions over at Tesla needed by Elon. And we're going to see this awesome roadmap coming in from all of the different catalysts we have for Tesla between buybacks, Cybertruck, Robotaxi, Optimus. Everything's going to be culminating at the same time, and I think at that point we're going to see a nice rebound in the stock. I don't know if it's going to be a V-bounce, because I think at that point there's going to be so many people who are hesitant to get money back in. We'll see institutions put their money in first because Tesla now has the investment grade rating when it comes to credit. We'll see that nice solid foundation come in from big money, and then retail will then continue to drive the stock price higher after that. I think that's just how I'm seeing it coming out afterwards. So we'll see a very nice growth pattern coming through this. It's just not going to be straight up. It'll feel like it because we are beaten down so far right now, but we will see this growth coming, and I think it's going to be coming in the next 12 months. Now, of course, a lot of things can happen between now and then, but just looking at the timing of all of these pieces of information, I have a feeling that's going to be it. So for me, I see it coming, and I want to still continue adding more right now. We are living through all of these very noisy times right now. The stock price is depressed, and people are out here saying, how could Elon do this to us? And they're surprised by what he is doing. And as Ross Gerber had said, he's like, look at Elon's history. This is not anything new for Elon. He does wild and crazy things all the darn time. So if he's going to do this all the time, this is just the norm for him. Some people just haven't been through it, or some people just don't remember the things that he has done in the past. Thinking about him smoking on the Joe Rogan show, talking about how he's going to be taking Tesla private, buying Solar City, which is a failing company as it is. All these different things that he has done in the past. So this is nothing surprising that Elon has been doing. The difference this time around is he is selling some shares in order to do it. That is affecting people's portfolios. That is the big difference, but as far as Elon's behavior goes, it's basically the same behavior as he has always done. And as JLizard had mentioned to me in the comments, we do have President Xi and President Biden are going to be meeting with each other next week. This could bode well for the stock market because we know that a lot of the companies over there in China are being beaten down because of a lot of negative sentiment. We've got COVID lockdowns going on over there. So perhaps this conversation that they're going to have is going to alleviate some of that and hopefully help Tesla as well, because obviously we know that Tesla is over there and we've seen a lot of different drama coming out of Tesla Shanghai and demand over in China. Maybe this is going to help that along as well. We will see how that plays out next week, and thank you, JLizard, for pointing that out. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How are you visualizing all of this noise right now? Are you using it as a buying opportunity? I know many of you have told me that you are. When do you think this is going to end with all of the different noise that is going on? Do you think this is going to culminate in the next 12 months, or do you think this is going to last longer? Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all of the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a membership program and a Patreon. Those links are also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.